Hey guys, Kyle Colbert here, and I'm here with my dad, Dr. Don Colbert.
Hey there. Great being here.
I tell you what, they've signed up. They're getting ready for the challenge, and now they're trying to put together their shopping list, what they're going to get at the store, also what they can order at ketozone.com.
Keto support, I call it.
Keto support.
To get them into the zone and keep them in the zone.
Tell us about keto support.
Well, the keto support, one of the most important things you can get, I believe, especially for me, is the MCT oil powder. Now, the MCT oil powder is medium chain triglyceride powder that is a good fat, a friendly fat that we put in coffee, especially hot coffee and hot tea, because it, first of all, helps you enter into the keto zone. Now, for most of you out there, you'll enter the keto zone fasting overnight. 12 to 16 hours of a fast puts most people in the keto zone. Did you know that? However, if you're pre-diabetic or type 2 diabetic, it's going to take you a little longer. It may take you 3 days to a week or so to enter the keto zone. And for you, we have instant ketones. That is a support that enables you to get in the keto zone within 30 minutes to 1 hour. And so that's a great way to start reaping the benefits of the keto zone if you're pre-diabetic or if your waist is large. Women, if your waist is 35 inches around the navel or larger, you're insulin resistant and probably pre-diabetic. And for you, you would need the MCT oil powder and probably the instant ketones, the limonade flavor. For men, if your waist measurement around your navel is 40 inches or greater, you're most likely insulin resistant and pre-diabetic, and it'll take you guys a little longer to enter the keto zone, so be patient. We have the support for you, especially the MCT oil powder and the instant ketones.
Okay, now the MCT oil powder, tell me first. So MCT oil, it is an oil-based powder.
Yes.
And so what are the differences between MCT oil and MCT oil powder?
Well, MCT oil is hard on a lot of people's digestive tract and causes a lot of loose stools and for some people diarrhea. So we prevent those effects with MCT oil powder, and we also put fiber in there to get people the fiber that they usually don't get enough of on the keto zone diet, but we don't get the diarrhea with the keto zone powder that people get with the MCT oil. Both are good, but people tolerate the powder usually much better.
Okay, tell us, when should we take the powder?
Okay, the MCT oil powder, I believe, is best taken in the morning. That's when I take mine. What I do is I take my coffee with I take 2 scoops. Don't start with 2, start with 1. Just get your body used to getting in the keto zone. I stir it up real good. I put a little sugar-free chocolate in there and a little stevia to make my mocha coffee every morning, which puts me in the keto zone and keeps me full for hours.
That's another question. What if during the afternoon or late at night, can they take MCT oil powder?
Yes, you can. Absolutely.
You could cravings.
Yes, you can put it in a shaker cup.
Okay.
Or you can blend it. And that's good, or use some decaf coffee or decaf tea,
okay,
which is good. It goes great and hot, but also you can blend it in the blender or shaker cup. Works great.
Okay, so we can add it to a smoothie or...
Yes, right, exactly. It's great with smoothies. Some people will put it in their soup, but I mean, it's up to you.
Okay, now there is 5 different options for MCT oil powder. If you don't like any sweetness, now it's no glycemic, because on here it does say there is 3 grams of carbs. So is there any carbohydrates?
Well, there's fiber carbs, but the net carbs is 0 because you subtract the fiber carbs from the total carbs and you get 0.
Okay, so we're not looking at total carbs, we're looking at net carbs. Okay, so 0 net carbs because the carbs are coming from fiber. Now there's 5 different options. There's coconut flavor, French vanilla flavor, hazelnut, and then unflavored. And it's sweetened with no artificial sweeteners. We use stevia. It tastes delicious. I love it.
It's not bitter. It's not as bitter as stevia.
Now,
great.
With the instant ketones, explain to me, please, how instant ketones helps us, because MCT, for an average person, can help people get into ketosis. Is that right?
It does. But like I say, if you're pre-diabetic or diabetic, or your waist limit, if it's 35 or greater, men if it's 40 or greater, it's going to take you a little longer to enter the keto zone. And for you, we have the instant ketones in a limeade flavor, which is good. It's a little salty, so I like to tell people that. But what it is, these are exogenous ketones. And what happens when you're in the keto zone, your liver is producing ketones that's literally it's suppressing your appetite, giving you that feeling of well-being. It's giving you that, clearing that brain fog, giving you mental clarity, giving you energy. But what they've done in the lab, they've developed ketone bodies in the form of beta-hydroxybutyrate. There are three key ketones. There's acetoacetate, which we measure with our ketone strips. There's beta-hydroxybutyrate. These are all produced in the liver, and there's acetone. Those three. This supplies exogenous ketones in the form of beta-hydroxybutyrate that instantly puts us in the zone within 30 minutes to an hour, and we stay in the zone for 4 to 6 hours or longer.
Okay, so MCT oil powder enables our body to naturally produce ketones. It can take several days for someone who's healthy,
Right.
but it can be up to...
But it takes a while to make that metabolic shift, and this is so important. In the metabolic shift, see, 99.9% of people are sugar burners and carb and starch burners. They break down their sugars, carbs, and starches into sugar. And the sugar goes through the mitochondria and creates energy in the Krebs cycle and the oxidative phosphorylation, which I don't want to get into. But you produce ATP in the form, which is our form of energy currency in our body. Now, what happens when you get in the keto zone, you shift from burning sugar to burning fat as your main fuel. In that regard, you produce more energy in the form of more ATP. And what it also does, it does not stress your mitochondria. So I call it a clean fuel. It's kind of like shifting from a diesel burning engine to an electric engine.
Okay.
So you don't age your mitochondria, which are your energy producing organelles and all the cells of the body. The organ that has the most mitochondria is the heart. It never stops. Then the muscles, and the brain, and the skeletal muscles, and then all the organs have mitochondria. The organ that has the least mitochondria or energy-producing cells or organelles are fat cells. Fat cells don't need to produce much energy because they don't work. And so what we do when we shift into the zone,
Amazing.
keto zone,
We spend so much energy getting the fat, but they don't do anything.
They don't do
It's like they're there.
they sit there and enlarge.
Yeah.
But when you shift into keto zone, you make a metabolic shift from burning sugar or carbs or starch, which is the same thing, to burning fat as your fuel. And so literally when you eat that, take that MCT oil or that olive oil or those nuts or those seeds or that avocado oil or a little bit of that grass-fed butter or cheese, you burn it as fuel.
Okay, gotcha.
And it's a clean fuel, unlike sugar, carbs, and starches, which is a dirty fuel. It ages your mitochondria, and ages your body, ages your brain, and creates all these free radicals and advanced glycation end products that ages you. But in the keto zone, it slows that down. It's clean fuel. It's similar, like I said, it's like an electric car.
I love that analogy. Are these all safe to take? Based on your research, you have a lot of patients on the keto.
Yes, absolutely.
And you track the results. Tell us, what are potential side effects? What are some people who need to be cautious?
Okay, type 1 diabetics should not take instant ketones. That's the big thing. They can take the MCT oil powders. That's not going to hurt them. They can take the collagen's wonderful. It's a wonderful protein, and it's going to support your skin, hair, and nails for healthy skin, hair, and nails, and joints. So it's wonderful for us. So again, the fat zyme is great because as we shift into keto zone, our body's not used to them. Our body's used to taking in at least 60% carbs, sugars, and starches. We're about to make a metabolic shift, and when that happens, the pancreas isn't ready. It doesn't have the enzymes, doesn't have the lipases. So we supply lipases and enzymes to help you digest those fats because you're about to shift from maybe 10 to 20%, some people 30% fat, to 70% fat. So in those cases, we need some enzyme support for the first month or two. Some people just stay on it. They feel so good.
Can people because beta-hydroxybutyrate is a ketone salt, can people with high blood pressure?
Good question. Now, for some people with high blood pressure, they can't. And what I do is I simply have them take it, try a small dose, a half dose, and see and monitor their pressure an hour later. And then if they have no increase in pressure, try a full dose and see how they do.
Okay, so just to do a quick recap, MCT oil powder will help your body naturally produce ketones. Instant ketones is ketones that put your body in ketosis immediately,
Right.
but they don't need to be on a
Nutritional ketosis.
Nutritional
Not diabetic ketoacidosis. This is nutritional ketosis or keto adaptation, or what I call the keto zone, the sweet spot for weight loss.
And we have the ketosis strips, which will help you monitor whether you're in ketosis or not.
Yes.
The fat zyme, which helps you break down the high consumption of fats. Okay, we've got, if you have any other questions, we also have a catalog if you have questions on this.
You forgot your
Oh, and the collagen is also in
chocolate. My wife loves chocolate collagen. She has it every night before she goes to bed. She swears it helps her sleep.
Well, we've got 2 flavors of the collagen, unflavored and chocolate collagen, and then 2 flavors of the instant ketones, both coconut cream and ice limeade. Okay, just remember, the keto zone is a lifestyle. Just take it one meal at a time. We'll see you in the next video.
We'll see you.